Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Wiegmann. Man, we're at Radcrest and we are finding all kinds of products, cool products that you got to have in your boat. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to put one in my boat, that's for sure. But Kipp is with Avid Angler. And Kipp, won't you tell them a little bit about your product?
Sure, be glad to, Brad. I'm with Avid Angler Solutions, and we are basically a very unique company in that we do something that no one else does, and that is we have the finest fishing glue in the market, and we're the only guys that put it in a toolkit along with a marker. So we're all about helping people catch more fish, and we have toolkits that basically you can carry in your boat, attached to your boat some way, both kayaks, full-size boats, bass boats, recreational boats, whatever you may have. And we because of our glue product, we're beginning to make some inroads into the fishing world in a pretty big way.
Right. So the amazing thing is when we're walking around, we're looking at this product. It's a product that can go either in bass boats or pontoons or kayaks, you name it, right?
Well, actually, correct. We actually have two sizes of toolkits.
Okay.
And the first kit that we had it's called our regular toolkit. And it has 7 different tools in it, which we include needle nose pliers, a pair of really good braid cutting scissors. Everybody needs that in their boat these days.
That's right.
Then we have our glue and our marker, and we have a very good set of needle nose pliers that you need for taking those fish on and off. And we also have a hook file. And a lot of people maybe not be thinking about using a hook file, but if you're a pretty serious angler and you're fishing a jig and it gets the hook gets barbless sometimes, it's good to have that to put a new finish on it.
That's right. So that's the big one. It has 7 tools.
7 tools in it.
And this is the one.
This is called our essential toolkit, and we said everybody at least needs to have these tools on their boat to help them catch more fish, especially if they're fishing plastics.
Okay, tell them what is in that.
Okay, in our essential toolkit, again, we have the needle nose pliers, the fishing glue, the marker, and a set of good braid cutting scissors. Yeah.
So and it comes in this. It comes in like attachment. Tell them what this is.
It's a vacuum formed holder that you can attach to any side of a flat surface, whether it be in a boat or against your carpet or under a lid or a kayak or a john boat or any particular place that you need to have your tools so that you can keep them in there when this boat's going down the road or in the water, and you can be able to find them when it's time to use them.
So the back side of this, so the back side of the holder that you have, tell us what these things are.
Well, those are pieces of Velcro. It's marine grade Velcro. A lot of guys don't like to put holes in their boats, so we've come up with a way to not do that, and it still work. And you can attach with marine grade Velcro. And also what's nice about that, if you want to take this off and work on your equipment in your garage or in your back of your truck or in your room, hotel room or what, you can do that and then stick it back without having to worry about making holes or cutting holes in it.
And you just tape on this, like right onto the boat there.
That's correct. It's double-sided tape on the back of that Velcro, and you push it against, pull it off, and put it back on.
All right. Well, let's get into the heart of this thing.
Okay.
How about the glue? Because you were over there talking about the glue, and I'm like, I got super glue in my boat, and I would sell it to you for a dime. Yeah. You know why? Because it don't work.
It doesn't work very good. Well,
why does this work better than the stuff I have right now?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about super glues and my glue, for example, so you have an understanding. All super glues belong to a family called cyanoculates. Okay. And there are different grades of cyanoculates. And I happen to have, mine comes out of that family, but I've taken and made my glue have some properties that allow it to bond quicker in water, fresh or salt, and will also bond, it will bond in a way that it never does clog the needle. And the needle is in the cap, has a needle that keeps the passageway clear, and it has the right viscosity. So it's got some very unique properties about it that help it last longer,
Right.
and it's easier to use, and it's user friendly is what I call it.
And this isn't super glue.
No,
Right.
it's not.
So I'm sorry I said
No,
I said
that's
that.
okay.
So but other
Everybody-
people are thinking the same
That's
thing.
right. They get
But-
confused.
Uh-huh.
And the reason they don't like super glues because super glues don't perform correctly. You get one or two uses. And
Right.
You pay the same amount of money you do for mine.
Uh-huh.
But mine will last up to a year or longer.
Wow.
And it will bond quicker and it won't dry out.
Uh-huh. That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
Right. So you sell these individually.
We do.
That's how you sell.
And we're also the only company, Brad, that puts the marker with the glue in the same SKU and, of course, in our toolkit.
Right.
And that's unique in the sense because we done that because we think you need those two tools, we call them, to
Right.
catch more fish.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the marker. We'll get to the marker
Okay.
now. So you have a marker
Right.
that's in here.
Mhm.
I already smelled it. So
Yes.
I know it smells like garlic.
Yeah, that's right. I tell people all fish are really, they're all Italian. They like garlic. So. But, yeah, this...
Why I got to ask you.
Okay.
Why did you go with garlic? Why didn't you go with peppermint?
Well,
or
I did a
something?
lot of research
Uh-huh.
on the scents that really work in the water.
Right.
And garlic was the number one working scent, and it was what the
Right.
public knew and understood and would buy.
Right.
So I decided it had a track record of success, so I just went ahead and made my marker be garlic scent because it's easier to use
Right.
that way.
And so did you know that smallmouth, they're when they actually talked to a fisheries biologist today, a Major League Fishing
Mhm.
biologist, and he said the smallmouth are not as much as a visual hunter, their predator, their scent is very high up on what they do.
have
And so,
high sensory
so-
receptors, correct?
yeah,
Mhm.
so I mean, that's what that goes in. So you have this in just one color?
I do right now.
Okay.
We've taken a look at adding some colors, and down
Right.
the road we might do that. But 90% of all people want a chartreuse,
Chartreuse.
so we've
Yep.
given them what they wanted.
So now you have the complete kit.
Yes,
Makes it real easy to go around and go fishing.
correct.
Let's talk about some more applications. I kind of blew through the applications real fast, but tell me, because you've been around, let's just break it down. So
Yeah.
let's just say they are bass or crappie fishing.
Mhm.
Which one would they use, and where might they put it on their boat?
Well, we predominantly have most of our applications in the bass fishing market,
Uh-huh.
and although the crappie fishermen are beginning to understand what glue does,
Right.
and it's all about catching more fish and saving money. When you're able to utilize glue on various sundries of baits, whether it be to to attach a jig head to a swim bait,
Right.
or a skirt to a spinner bait or a chatterbait, or to take a shaky head and be able to make sure that worm stays up on that shaky head hook.
Right.
It makes fishing much easier, and as a result of it, the fish will stay on the bait longer, and you can fish it in more applications.
Right. So let's say a person comes in, they're starting to talk about, hey, they call you up on phones. Hey, we got a pontoon boat. Where am I going to put this? How's that play into them?
Well, it's interesting that you say pontoon boats because I
Okay.
have several pictures that have come in the last couple of weeks of people who have purchased my toolkit and put it on their pontoon boat.
yeah.
And there's various and sundries. And I just would probably tell you that if you really wanted to stay on a pontoon boat, go to my website, avidanglersolutions.com,
Uh-huh.
and go to what I call my wall of fame, and you'll see where
Right.
people have put their toolkits on their pontoons and other
Right.
boats as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then that takes us to the kayakers.
Yes,
So kayakers
Well-
right away. The first thing I thought when I saw this was like perfect for kayak fishermen. Like that's just perfect.
Yeah, to be truthful, about a year ago, I was doing a show in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Right.
and my booth was across the hall or across the aisle
Right.
from the kayak guys, and they kept looking at my stuff. And finally,
Right.
one guy goes, "Hey, look, I really like that concept, but it's too big for my kayak. Why don't
Right.
you make one smaller?"
Uh-huh.
I said, "I never thought about it." So from that show, I designed and built our small toolkit called the Essential Toolkit.
Right.
And it has those things that the kayakers need at their
Right.
fingertips, and it mounts easily in their boat, or they'll carry it in their backpack or in their tackle bag or some form of something that they're handling their things. And again, it's the essential tools that they need during
Right.
the day of fishing to catch more fish.
So when you push, what keeps the tools from falling out?
Well, this kit that we have is
Uh-huh.
it has been vacuum formed for specially for these tools.
Right.
And so the tool fits down in there. You can actually turn it upside down and it'll still stick. Is the
Yeah.
glue and the marker, all of these tools.
Huh.
And when you mount it, they're set in there. And when you go down the lake as fast as you want to, or if you're having your kayak and you're pulling it behind your
Right.
vehicle going, when you get there, they're still going to be in there.
Yeah, that's the deal right there.
That's the ticket.
So amazing. That's a pretty cool thing. I think people that are watching that see it, they have a kayak or something, like they're like, wow, that's.
Well, I have a guy on my staff
Okay.
who's my kayak expert. He actually fishes the Bassmaster division of kayaks. His name
Right.
and he's helping me at the show here today, Ben, and he's found so many uses for this, and he educates me every day
Right.
why kayakers love this toolkit. So it's been a good marriage for us.
I can see that. That takes us up to Tackle Time. Tackle Time sponsored by PICO Lures. PICO Lures has a complete line of hard and soft baits, so you can find them there. If you're in a kayak and you're using your tools and you're cutting off your jig heads and you're retying them, well, if you got your tools right handy right there, that's the deal to get.
Yeah,
So,
I was fortunate. I got to be on tour with one of the best in the business for about 3 years. A guy named Ken Cook won the Bassmaster Classic, and I believe it was in '92.
Yeah, Ken Cook.
Yeah, Ken and I were in together, and he was a fisheries biologist. And the thing he always taught me is organization.
Right.
Be organized,
Okay.
because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's
And
exactly
I didn't really like to have the thought about failing in fishing because I loved it so much. But he's the reason that I birthed the first toolkit.
All right.
Yeah.
Like we're going Tackle Time, make sure you check out PICO Lures. Complete line, hard, soft, and anything you're fishing for, all the game fish, bass, crappie, walleye, you name it, they got a lure that can catch it. So make sure you check them out at picolures.com. Kipp, if they want to find your product or find more about you, social media, where would they go?
Well, there's a couple of places they can go. AvidAnglerSolutions.com. We have a website, and you can look at all of our pictures and see some of our videos.
Right.
And then you can also find our products at Tackle Warehouse and Bass Pro Shops.
All right. Well, that's great. I didn't even know that. So now you're just giving me some new information.
There you go. And we just signed on with a new distributor called Pittman Creek out of Kentucky.
Yep.
And they're going to be placing it. They have over 2,000 accounts, and they're going to be offering it to all of their customers.
Sweet.
We've already gotten several of those. So
you guys will be able to find that out there for sure.
Hopefully so, pretty soon.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, takes us to the end of the show. Make sure, I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.